continuous meet and Loeffler beginning of the week.
Peter, there were a lot of haters for this show here. There were a lot of people trying to stop this show from happening.
I didn't even do the story.
But we're going to do another segment. Triple G is standing right here behind me. He's the driving force. He's the one that really wanted to make this fight happen. He put the task in my hand. Tom, whatever you do, keep Cinco de Mayo. He wanted to fight. Doesn't care who he fought. Didn't care where he fought. We got a great challenger with Vanes Martirosyan, #1 in the WBC. He was actually supposed to fight one of your countrymen, Soleski. He was signed to fight, and that fight fell out. Soleski took the Danny Jacobs fight, gave Danny Jacobs all he wanted last Saturday night, and now Vanes has a great opportunity to fight for all of Triple G's titles. So it's a great weekend for boxing, and we're really looking forward to having Triple G in the ring again and having Cecilia Brækhus on the same show.
Even haters would agree that we all want Triple G to fight as often as he wants, because first of all,
he's the most exciting boxer in the sport of boxing.
He fights better when he fights more often.
Fights more often, and he's a very exciting fighter. That's why he's got so many Mexican fans, because they appreciate his style. They think he's got a great Mexican style, the way Abel Sanchez has trained him to provide entertainment, provide excitement for the fans, and that's what the fans are going to get. They're going to get. Don't overlook the female boxers, because they want to make a point that it was the right decision for HBO to put them on the opening bout of the telecast, and Lucia Reichert predicted, Cecilia Brækhus and Kaylee Reese, they're going to steal the show. So it's going to be two great fights on HBO, and then a lot of undercard fights that are going to be very competitive.
I will never overlook Cecilia, but I'm going to go back and ask you the question: you are known in the business as a tranquility Tom Loeffler or whatever, never nervous.
I didn't get much sleep for the last month trying to save the show.
Promotion
absolutely, there's no question. There's many sleepless nights. We had obstacles from everywhere, from the television standpoint, from the arena standpoint, to the sanctioning bodies. We had so many obstacles put in our way, and this is luckily we were able to put it all together. I have to say, this has been the most challenging, the most difficult promotion that I've ever had. And but the result now is for the fans. This is a great event. It's really a boon for the Southern California fans, and all the fans on HBO. Usually a fighter that makes that transition to HBO pay-per-view, he did tremendously well in the last fight together with Canelo Alvarez, doesn't go back to regular HBO. So this is a treat for the HBO subscribers, and frankly all over the world. It's going to be over 100 countries internationally, and it's going to be great for the boxing fans. Was
there the moment that you said, no, this thing is not going to happen?
I think it happened 4 times. 4 different times I said, you know what, it's just too much. One night I even just went to the movies thinking, the fight's not going to happen. I'm going to go see a movie.
You don't even remember.
I'll think about it, but no, I saw it was the Chappaquiddick movie. That's what I saw. But anyway, I thought, you know what, there's too many issues with this. Then Vanes agreed to the fight, then HBO agreed to show the fight, and then everything was back on. Then the StubHub was available, and everything came back together. But boy, it was really an uphill battle.
Thank you very much. Great show. We all know it, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit later about something else.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what.
You're going to surprise me. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Peter.
Kim just said he knows you for a long way back. So, what is the first time you met Don Kim?
I actually met him probably in the mid-'80s or early '80s. But I actually had the privilege, and I'll say it's a privilege because it's probably one of the best times I've ever had working in boxing. Is I worked for Don for about 2.5, 3 years in Florida, and I had so much fun working for him, doing site coordination and stuff like that in part of his office staff. That I learned so much about the game itself and about the business of boxing. I'm happy to see him. I'm happy he's healthy. I'm glad that he's part of this promotion. Hopefully it goes our way and not his way.
I agree with you. This is the history sitting with you and Tom and Triple G, but I thought this history would never happen. I mean, if you will tell me even 3 months ago, I'm going to have you, Tom, Triple G, at the same table, doing the promotion, I would say, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, there was a lot of friends. Also, Lucia's trained with us in our gym too. Lucia Riker, probably the greatest female fighter ever. And to have those kind of old friends and those kind of people, revered people in the same dais is interesting. But you're right, 3 months ago, even 2 months ago, even March the 5th, would have never thought this was going to happen. But for it to come together like Tom has in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and put together a card that is not only saving the Golovkin fighting in Cinco de Mayo, but it also has the great Cecilia Brækhus on it, history-making fight on HBO, I think is fantastic.
Champion of the losers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Nike has to do this shirt. Yeah, this is done. Nobody can put those words together like he does. But let's go for a couple of minutes, maybe shorter than that. There's a long line to talk to you about this fight. People are saying it's not the fight.
Okay, well, understand that we just had a fight last week where the young man that gave Daniel Jacobs a most difficult time, nobody gave him a chance, okay. And he gave Daniel Jacobs, who's probably the second best middleweight, third best middleweight in the world, a heck of a fight. That young man was supposed to fight the guy we're fighting on Saturday, Vanes. And Vanes was favored over Saluski at the beginning. So that just tells me that we're getting a real fight. We're getting a real fighter. Yes, he fights at 154, but so did the other guy that just fought Daniel Jacobs. So Daniel Jacobs didn't have to weigh in for the IBF for that fight either, so he must have been 185 pounds fighting a junior middleweight that gave him all he could handle. Okay, he gave him all he could handle. So I think that we're fighting a Vanes Martirosyan who is primed for an upset. I think we're fighting a Vanes Martirosyan who has nothing to lose, who can make history because he's fighting the best fighter in the world. And if you think about it, it could be a letdown for Golovkin. It could be a letdown because it's not who he thought he was going to fight. So Vanes is in a perfect position to capitalize on it.
How did you manage all those changes from fighting, not fighting, Las Vegas, maybe this guy, Derevyachenko name popped out, Vanes. How did you keep Triple G interested and being constantly 100% sure? Focused.
Well, luckily, once we're a close team. First of all, that's the luck part of it. Once the 5th, the 6th of March happened, and we were 100% certain, and Canelo wasn't going to fight. We all had a meeting together, and Gennady asked Tom, I asked Tom to keep the 5th together, keep the 5th of May together, so that the fight could happen against somebody. Tom promised we were going to fight on the 5th. He was going to do his best. The venue was not a guarantee. But he promised me that we have a right-handed fighter in front of us. So we just continued training like we were going to fight Canelo. And when we got the name, it was Vanes. Obviously, our thought pattern changed a little bit, but it's still an elite fighter. It's still a good fighter. It's still a guy with a good right hand. It's still a guy that's very hungry.
Thank you very much. The best trainer in boxing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.